One dead, groom hospitalized as bride allegedly poisons wedding food in Jigawa. 7 dead, 31 injured in Gombe auto crash. Aging hospitality giants facing economic constraints amid declining patronage. South Korea investigators call off arrest of impeached President Yoon. Hello and welcome to the news update on Trust TV. My name is Hawa Gambo. Thank you for joining us. A joyous occasion has turned into a tragedy in Jahun local government area of Jigawa State after a bride allegedly poisoned food served at her wedding reception. The incident left the groom critically ill and claimed the life of one guest. Eyewitnesses suggest that the bride's actions may have been motivated by a personal vendetta, though details remain unclear. The police public relations officer for the state, Suuk Yu, confirmed the incident on Friday and revealed that an investigation is underway. According to him, 2 suspects have been arrested in connection with the incident, the bride and another female accomplice. Both are currently in custody and being interrogated by the Criminal Investigative Department of Jigawa State Police Command. 7 persons have lost their lives in an auto crash in Gombe State. The sector commander, Samsung Aura, Federal Road Safety Corps in the state, confirmed the incident on Thursday in Gombe. He said that 31 other persons sustained varying degrees of injury in the crash, which occurred at about 7:30 a.m. Gaura attributed the accident to the suspected brake failure of the truck conveying soft drinks, and 38 persons, comprising 34 males, 2 females, and 2 children. He said the deceased comprised 5 males, 1 female, and a child, adding that the corpses had been deposited at the morgue of the General Hospital called Tungo, while 31 injured persons were receiving medical attention at the facility. He cautioned Nigerians against joining trailers to reduce high costs of transportation, adding that passengers should always consider the cost of road traffic crashes and loss of lives and how much you will pay as the cost of transportation. Gaura also advised drivers to ensure good vehicle maintenance to curb crashes. At least 8 persons were injured in a ghastly auto crash involving a commercial bus popularly known as Molue in Lagos. The Molue bus was heading towards Hamadiya in Ward Abulegba when it crashed into the road median while trying to avoid head-on collision with an LT bus. It was learned that the bus almost ran into a crowd of bystanders who were waiting at the bus stop to board commercial vehicles. The General Manager, Lagos State Traffic Management Agency, LASMA, Mr. Olalekan Bakari Oki, confirmed the incident. Bakari Oki stated that the auto crash significantly disrupted traffic flow in the area. Fire has razed a 2-story building at Abike Suleiman Street in the Lekki area of Lagos State. A statement by the Permanent Secretary, Lagos State Emergency Management Agency, LASEMA, Olufomiwoke Osinyatolu, said the agency had received distress calls and immediately activated the state's emergency response plans and its response team from the Lekki base. Upon arrival of the LASEMA shock response team at the incident scene, it was discovered that a 1-story building was engulfed by fire. Although further investigations at the incident scene could not ascertain the cause of the inferno at the time of this report, however, no casualties were recorded at the incident scene and no injuries were sustained as a result of the incident. Oke Osinyatolu noted that LASEMA's intervention in collaboration with other responders curtailed the fire from spreading to other buildings. The Abuja Electricity Distribution Company, AEDC, has stated that there will be power disruptions in some parts of Abuja due to relocation of the 33 kV DC airport feeder and the 132 kV Kukwaba Apotu transmission line towers along the outer southern expressway. A statement on its official X handle said the activities will occur from January 6th to the 31st. It said the areas that will experience outages during the period include Lugbe and environs, Airport Road, Kapwa, NNPC, Games Village, National Stadium, Eye Clinic, Indoor Complex, Christ Embassy Church, American International School, Spring Court American Embassy, Quarters, EFCC Headquarters, Coca-Cola, Railway, FMC, parts of Apo, parts of Gudu, Bazanga Zoo, environs, and parts of Kubwa, Buari and environs, parts of Jahi, parts of Jabi, Karu, Nyanya, Mararaba, Kefi and environs, and other parts of Abuja. It announced regrets in any inconveniences and appreciates its customers' understanding. Operatives of the Nigerian police in Borno State have recovered 3 projectiles in the state, averting an explosion. The command's public relations officer, Nahum Daso, in a statement on Thursday said the projectiles were recovered in the Dala Kafanti area of Maiduguri, the state capital. According to him, preliminary investigations further disclosed that the ordnance was dropped by unknown persons in the first flush of the morning on the same day. The police therefore sensitized community members on explosive ordnance risk awareness and safety measures. Nigeria has been ranked 110th out of 127 countries in the Global Hunger Index, highlighting a severe food insecurity crisis in the country. With a score of 28.8, Nigeria's level of hunger is categorized as serious, a troubling indication of the widespread challenges many Nigerians face when it comes to access to adequate food and nutrition. The Global Hunger Index is a measure that considers factors such as undernourishment, child mortality, and stunting, all of which contribute to the overall hunger score. This ranking places Nigeria amongst nations where hunger remains a significant issue, with millions of citizens struggling to meet their daily nutritional needs. Despite efforts to combat food insecurity, the country's persistent challenges in areas such as agricultural productivity, economic instability, and climate change-related disruptions continue to exacerbate the hunger situation. In particular, the northern regions of Nigeria, which have been affected by conflict and displacement, are most vulnerable to food insecurity, further inflating the national hunger score. And as the year 2025 begins, Nigerians want the federal government to address pressing national issues such as tax reforms, subsidy removal, and improvement in essential infrastructure. Speaking to Trust TV on their expectations for the year, they called for the federal government to reverse the debated tax reforms, as they fear that such reforms will exacerbate inflation and hardship across the country. They expressed hope that 2025 will bring improvement in infrastructure, including electricity, water supply, and road networks.
So after removing subsidy removal, nobody was held responsible for making money from subsidy and all that. At the same time, tax reform again, which is another second thing that Nigeria has to deal with, knowing fully that Nigeria is not a productive country. So for me, one of my major targets is for that tax reform to be looked into and hopefully withdraw first.
Please listen to the masses, to support masses, to help us. This economy, everything is down. Everybody is now, we are asking. So let's come and go relief. So where there is relief, we will.
This is the news update on Trust TV. Coming up after the break. Tangale clan groups uphold traditions at New Year celebrations in Kaltungo. More news when we return. Do stay with us.
August 2024 was a fiery month for Nigeria.
We are hungry!
Citizens took to the street to protest hardship, tagged "End Bad Governance." Protesters were calling for an end to corruption and rising cost of living. But what followed was a series of inexplicable events which shocked the world.
How can you charge a person who is less than 18 years or 15 years and whom you have not seen him with your gun, and you say you are charging him for treason?
Minors arrested during the protest were incarcerated for 3 months. Some of them are now reportedly dealing with post-traumatic stress disorder.
Yanzu haka akwai yaron da mun kai psychiatric hospital ana tisa-tisansa saboda yana abu abnormal ba yadda yake da ba, saboda yanayin isolation din da aka mai, sannan da mutanen da aka hada su da shi inda aka kai su sas aka aje su.
In the aftermath of the protests, nothing seems to have changed.
The sad part about the state generally and the Nigerian state in particular, it is always a poor student of history. It never learned.
This documentary investigates the aftermath of Nigeria's End Bad Governance protest.
You welcome back. If you're just joining us, this is the news update on Trust TV. Now let's take a look at some of our top stories again. 1 dead, groom hospitalized as bride allegedly poisons wedding food in Jigawa. 7 dead, 31 injured in Gombe auto crash. Now moving to other stories. Kano State, widely celebrated as Nigeria's commercial hub, has long been a magnet for travelers and traders from far and wide. Boasting a rich history of hospitality services that stretches back nearly a century, Kano's hotel industry has undergone remarkable transformation over the decades. In this report, Abdulaziz Ibrahim delves into the evolution, growth and challenges facing Kano's vibrant hospitality sector.
The story begins in the 1920s with the establishment of the Ekwa Guest House and railway catering services, which served as rest stops for traders traversing Kano's bustling markets. By the 1950s, Nigeria Hotels emerged as a landmark institution providing accommodations for both locals and international visitors. Fast forward to the 1970s, the iconic Grand Central Hotel revolutionized hospitality in Kano, offering modern services and hosting prominent figures from across the globe.
So since then, the hotel business, if you look at it as the trend, it has been increasing. For example, if you go outside now, almost every 1 year or 6 months, you find new hotel coming up.
Today, modern hotels in Kano have redefined luxury and comfort, spurred by the relative peace and stability in the state, which many cite as key factors driving the sector's growth.
Kano here is a peaceful area, is a peaceful state, and Kano is a very good place to be, I would say.
I think you need to operate a hotel. The most important thing for every city, for every state, is security. That is the most important. Any city, any state that is well secured, you discover people will want to go there without fear of their safety.
Despite fierce competition from newer establishments, the Grand Central Hotel has retained its place in Kano's hospitality landscape. Paul Ola, a veteran employee of nearly 5 decades, shares insights into the hotel's enduring appeal.
Kano is known as a commercial center, so guests are too many in Kano here at that time. So the hotel was so busy, and up till now the hotel is still busy, you know.
However, not all establishments have managed to keep pace. Many older hotels face significant challenges in adapting to emerging trends and meeting the expectations of contemporary travelers.
The current government, we have done all that we can, and we are doing what we can do to make sure that the hotel business is thriving. A point of note is that when the government came in, when I was appointed, we came in, we tried to gather all the stakeholders, not only hoteliers. We gather all the stakeholders to look at the sector, tourism sector as a whole, and see where is our problem, where will the government come so that the problem will be solved, and where the stakeholders will try as much as possible to see what they can do to move the industry forward.
As Kano continues to thrive as a commercial and cultural hub, its hospitality industry balances the task of preserving its rich heritage while evolving to cater the demands of the modern era. Abdulaziz Ibrahim, Trust TV News, Kano.
Adama State Governor Ahmad Fintiri has approved the selection of 2 emirs and 5 chiefs for the emirates and chiefdoms that his administration recently created. The newly selected emirs are Alhaji Sana Ahmadu Rubadu as Emir of Fufore and Alhaji Ahmadu Saibaru as Emir of Maiha. The new chiefs are Alheri Nyako, Tolhuba Hong Chiefdom, Professor Bulus Luka, Chadiga Mbeke Ka Michika Chiefdom, Dr. Ali Domburam, Pital Madagali Chiefdom, Agre Ali Kumu of Gombe Chiefdom, and John Dio Gubo Yungur Chiefdom. The new development was communicated to Newsday Friday morning by Governor Fintiri's Chief Press Secretary, Humwashi Wanasiko, who said the governor congratulated the new paramount traditional leaders on their appointments. Wanasiko quoted the governor as emphasizing that the selection of the new emirs and chiefs was based on merit and their popularity among the people. The Chief Press Secretary said the governor urged the new leaders to be fair and responsible in their duties as their approval takes immediate effect. 4 of them, Huba Hong, Madagali, Michika, and Fufore, are of second-class status, while the 3 others are of third-class status. The Tangale people of Kalurgo community in Kaltungo, Gombe State, Nigeria, have vowed to continually uphold their rich cultural heritage despite diverse religious beliefs. They disclosed this during a vibrant display of cultural strength during a New Year celebration. Trust TV's Adamu Imam was there and now reports.
According to the Tangale people, their religious practices do not hinder their appreciation for the contributions and sacrifices of their ancestors who handed down the tradition to them. These ancestors, it is said, initially settled among the rocks and baba trees, characteristics of northern Nigeria. The significance of this annual celebration lies in preserving their inherited cultural values and fostering cultural diversity within their communities. We don't want our children to forget our tradition, especially our native delicacies. That is the primary reason we celebrate this after 3 years. During the celebration, we sit down and tell them what is expected of them as Tangale people.
During this time, we used to have those that are living far, particularly those in the cities. Some of them will send their children so that they will come and see the settlement of their grandfathers.
One of the branches of the Tangale nation, and for what we are seeing here, this forms a part of the nucleus of the cultural preservation that we are working on. Now, whatever we do here, we are hopeful that this will be a restoration, a kind of preservation for the sake of posterity. And anybody from anywhere needs to know who are these people, what makes them tick and anything about them, we'll be able to tell the world our story.
Unless people understand that there are other people that have obnoxious notions concerning religion and culture. Our culture has nothing wrong to do with religion. There are some aspects that anybody can participate, not necessarily that you have misconception that culture is bad. No. After all, in our festival that we do, we pray to God. We thank God for what He has done. We used to pray in our local languages for God to bring rain and for bumper harvest, and after which we do Thanksgiving.
Our forefathers were typically farmers, but due to changes, we, the children, are pursuing education and rearing of animals. For instance, the clan we belong to is called Aya. In terms of religion, some converted to Islam and Christianity, and vice versa. The gathering also highlighted a unique aspect of their ancient traditions, which holds that within the Tangale Mra tribe of the Kaltungo area, women were traditionally prohibited from marrying within their immediate clans. Observers say the celebration emphasized the importance of maintaining cultural norms and values, particularly by engaging the youth and children of the entire community. Adam Imam, Trust TV News, Kaltungo.
And in the business scene, Adova PLC and Hayden Petroleum have entered into a bulk purchase agreement with the Angot Petroleum Refinery. This strategic move is designed to ensure a steady supply of petroleum products at affordable prices, further stabilizing the nation's fuel market and enhancing energy security for consumers. This development follows the similar pact with MRS Oil Nigeria PLC signed with Angot Refinery, making the company lower its fuel prices to 935 naira per litre across all its stations nationwide, addressing the long-standing issue of price disparities between states. Furthermore, MRS Oil stock surged to a new 52-week high last Friday as investors become increasingly optimistic about the company's future earning prospects. The arrangement ensures that Adova and Hayden will have access to a full range of refined products, thereby securing their operations with a reliable supply chain. A statement from Adova PLC said the agreement will foster a more competitive environment within Nigeria's downstream oil and gas sector. And away from Nigeria, South Korean investigators called off their attempt to arrest impeached President Suuk Yu at his residence Friday over a failed marital law bid, citing safety concerns after a standoff with his security team. Yoon, who has already been suspended from duty by lawmakers, will become the first sitting president in South Korea's history to be arrested if the warrant is carried out. The president, who issued a bungled declaration on December 3rd that shook the vibrant East Asian democracy and briefly launched it back to the dark days of military rule, faces imprisonment or, at worst, the death penalty. The deadline for the warrant is Monday, leaving it in limbo with just a few days remaining, and Yoon defiant vowing earlier this week to fight authorities seeking to question him. CIO investigators, including senior prosecutor Lee Dae-hwan, were earlier left through heavy security barricade to enter the residence to attempt to execute their warrant to detain Yoon. About 2,700 police and 135 police buses were deployed to the area to prevent clashes, Yonhap reported, after Yoon supporters faced off with anti-Yoon demonstrators on Thursday. And in sports, Shooting Stars General Manager Dimeji Lawal has hailed the club supporters for maintaining orderliness during the team's home matches in the first round. Lawal said the supporters played an important role in the impressive outing of the team. He assured the club's backers of a more rewarding second round, stressing that efforts have already started to improve the team's quality. Shooting Stars occupy third position in the league table with 33 points from 19 games. And with that, we come to the end of the news update on Trust TV. Do not forget to follow us on all media platforms and subscribe to our YouTube channel for constant live stream of programs and documentaries. My name is Hawa Gambo. Thank you for joining us and see you next time.